Have you ever heard of a creature with glowing red eyes, massive wings, and a scream that can freeze your blood? They say it appears before great tragedies, and looking directly into its eyes could mean the end. Some call it an omen, others a curse. But everyone agrees on one thing. What flew across the skies of Point Pleasant in 1966 was not human. Witnesses described a being nearly 6 feet tall, with a body covered in what looked like dark fuzz, and eyes burning like coals in the night. Its name, Mothman. Since then, this figure has become one of the scariest legends in American history. A mystery blending fear, tragedy, and the supernatural. But who or what is Mothman? A monster, a fallen angel, or just a dark warning that something terrible is about to happen? It all started in the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, in 1966. A quiet place, surrounded by forests and rivers, where nothing extraordinary usually happened. Until one cold November night, two young families were driving along a lonely road when something strange crossed their car headlights. They swore they saw a huge figure with wings nearly 10 feet wide, red eyes glowing in the dark, and a humanoid body covered in grayish fuzz. The creature reportedly followed their car for several miles, flying low as if it were watching them. The news spread fast. Within days, dozens of locals began reporting the same kind of sighting. Some said the being perched atop abandoned buildings. Others claimed its screams echoed through the woods at night. Panic took hold of the town. Local newspapers began calling it Mothman, the man-moth, a name inspired by the superheroes of the era, but which soon became synonymous with terror. From there, things got even stranger. Electronics started malfunctioning, lights flickered for no reason, and people claimed to feel a constant presence, as if they were being watched. But what nobody imagined was that this creature was about to become part of a tragedy that would forever mark American history. In the months following the first sightings, Point Pleasant became a stage for collective hysteria. Ordinary people claimed to see Mothman hovering over bridges, rooftops, and even near the old industrial complex known as the TNT area, abandoned since World War II, full of tunnels and underground storage. It was said that the creature lived there. Many locals avoided the area at night, fearing those glowing red eyes in the dark. Paranormal researchers, UFO enthusiasts, and even journalists began visiting the town, trying to understand what was happening. Some believed Mothman was an interdimensional being from another plane of existence. Others thought it was an alien, or even a mutation caused by secret military experiments. But the scariest theory came when the tragedies started. Several residents who claimed to have seen Mothman reported a strange sense of foreboding, an inexplicable fear, as if something terrible was about to happen. And on December 15th, 1967, that fear became reality. That night, the Silver Bridge, connecting Point Pleasant to the neighboring state of Ohio, suddenly collapsed, killing 46 people. Strangely, multiple witnesses claimed to have seen Mothman flying above the bridge just before the disaster. After the tragedy, the sightings stopped. It was as if the being had fulfilled its role, somehow warning of what was to come. Since then, the legend of Mothman has never disappeared. Some say it continues to appear before major disasters, acting as a messenger of chaos. Others believe it's just a story invented to explain the unexplainable. But one thing is certain. On dark nights in small towns across the US, there are still those who swear they hear the sound of wings flapping in the wind, and see two red eyes staring from the darkness. And it's exactly at the climax of this story that the line between reality and the impossible begins to blur. Witnesses who claim to have seen Mothman describe details so vivid it's impossible to ignore. A man named Woodrow Derenberger, for example, alleged that he encountered the creature while driving alone at night in Point Pleasant. He described the being as something that looked human but with inhuman proportions, blazing red eyes, long arms moving like wings, and a body that seemed to hover above the ground, almost floating. Derenberger said the creature not only watched him, but also seemed to communicate something, a sense of urgency, a silent warning that something terrible was coming. His account was recorded by local newspapers and even featured in paranormal documentaries. Yet many skeptics dismissed it as collective hysteria or a fertile imagination. And it didn't stop there. Other Point Pleasant residents reported similar encounters. People who crossed paths with Mothman claimed to feel a strange mix of fear and fascination, as if the being carried a supernatural presence, something beyond human understanding. Some even described high-pitched, spine-chilling screams echoing through the night, as if the creature was warning of dangers no one could see. The most unsettling part is that many of these sightings occurred before accidents or tragedies. The Silver Bridge, which collapsed in 1967, killing dozens of people, is the most famous example. Witnesses claimed to see Mothman flying over the bridge just before the collapse. Some locals even connected the sightings to the bridge disaster, believing the being was indeed a harbinger of death. But the question remains, is Mothman a supernatural entity predicting tragedies, or just a myth born from fear and imagination? Does it still exist, hidden in the forests and silent towns, waiting for the next disaster to appear? Or is it all just a macabre coincidence, transformed into legend by collective terror? Researchers and paranormal enthusiasts continue to investigate the town, diving into reports, photos, and videos that occasionally surface. Every story adds another layer of mystery, reinforcing the enigma surrounding this winged creature. And the more we try to explain Mothman, the more it seems to elude our definitions. Some say it is a shadow of the unknown, a force reminding humanity that not everything can be understood. Others believe it's still out there, watching, waiting for the right moment to reappear. And that's what makes the legend of Mothman so terrifying. The constant feeling that somewhere, something is watching us silently, with red eyes that never blink. In the end, Mothman remains a mystery that defies rational explanation. To some, it's just a legendary creature, a story passed down through generations to frighten and fascinate. To others, it's a dark warning, a presence that manifests before tragedies. as if the universe chose this winged form to alert humans, regardless of the truth. The legend of Mothman reminds us of something important. There are things in this world we simply cannot understand. Things that make us question our reality and force us to confront the unknown. Perhaps it's real. Perhaps it's real. Perhaps it's just a creation of collective imagination. But the feeling of looking into the darkness and imagining two red eyes staring back at you is undeniably disturbing. And it's precisely this mystery that keeps Mothman alive in our stories, documentaries, and in the imagination of those who enjoy wandering through the shadows of the unknown. Every account, every gaze at the night sky in Point Pleasant connects us to that sense of fear and fascination, a reminder that sometimes the truth is stranger and scarier than any fiction. If you enjoyed this journey into the darker side of an American legend, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to catch the next mysteries. After all, stories like Mothman's remind us that there are still secrets in this world waiting to be uncovered. And who knows, next time, the next red gaze could be closer than you think.